I don't know why exactly I deserve being alone with you, but here we are. So, like, wow. Well, that didn't take long. Are there any questions for either of us? Or anyone new here and don't have any clue who I am? In that case, I am the city-state of Carthage in northern Africa, who was killed by this fucker idiot.
I don't know. I'd say it was really your own hubris which killed you. Like I was pretty innocent in this matter.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was the fire that killed me.
I don't know. I think the events leading up to the fire were really created by your own hubris, though.
Do you really want to discuss the causes of the Third Punic War?
I think the Second Punic War was really the cause of the Third Punic War.
I think it was, well, among other things, the general who kept going, Carthage must be destroyed, and trying to, like, fire up your nation to hate me even more, and the fact that you wouldn't let me defend myself against Numidia, and as soon as I defended myself, you yell, "Oh, you broke the treaty," and you attack. I was defending myself against Numidia, and he was just like, "No, we can't accept that." That was... it was not hubris, and I don't want your fucking bullshit.
I
That's
think
gonna thing in my religion.
what bullshit or hubris? Obviously, the hubris. I was going to say the reason why we had those treaties in place was the cause of your hubris was the Second Punic War. Where you were like, yo, let's go and take on Rome, and your general Hannibal, who had some real issues and some real revenge issues. Let us put that out there.
He did go out without the Senate knowing, like the first
time, only the first though.
Well, the thing is just that when your people came to me and was like, please, like, disown Hannibal, and then we'll, so we can, like, just fight him, and you don't have to take, like, the blame, I was kind of like, well, you know...
See, this is owning up to what caused.
The thing is, though, that I was this close to winning, and I would have wanted that honor if, like, we won. We were so close, I could have fucking beaten your ass.
If I hadn't fired those people, I did know. That's why I hired people to beat you, to understand your motives, and to figure out how to get around those, so I could win. And I did. And then, because see, if you had, retracted your motion behind Hannibal, then the Third Punic War would not have happened. Those treaties would not have been in place, which caused you not able to fight Numidia.
That was self-defense. That was because you would not let me defend myself. What were you expecting? Were you expecting me to just take the beating from Numidia while you were over there in Rome like, oh, that's fine. You were trying to provoke me to break the treaty.
Maybe. Admittedly, at that point.
That's also why you asked me to, like, no, it's fine that you, like, fought Numidia. We just want you to move your city, like, what was it, 20 kilometers inland? And you knew that that would kill me, right? Because all my trade came from the sea. You knew that that would kill me if I did that. You weren't trying to figure out things. You were trying to provoke me into just fighting you again.
Yes.
Yes.
I will
I will
that
freely
yes, I
admit that
was.
yes, I was.
Because
Because you were a... Well, admittedly at that point it was mostly
But
revenge.
previous to
But
that
previous
point,
to that point,
it
What?
it
was. Yeah,
was...
at that point it
Yeah,
was
at that
revenge.
point it
But
was
previous to
revenge. But
that point,
previous
you
to that
were a
point, you
major
were a
threat.
major threat.
I'm sorry. I think I misheard something because it feels like that sentence didn't finish. What did you say?
I said you
I
were a
said
major
you
threat
were a major threat
at that
at,
point.
at
Oh
that
no
point.
shit.
Exactly. So of course
Exactly.
I'm going
So
to
of
provoke
course I'm
you
going to provoke
so that you
you
become
so
not
that
a
you
threat.
become not a threat.
Just seems like common sense.
Just seems like common sense.
You didn't have to bloody kill me.
I don't. I think that's what
I
we
don't. I
did in
think
those
that's what we
days.
did in those days.
Not necessarily. Wars can be fought without killing each other.
But it does remove a
But it
threat.
does remove a threat.
Okay, you say that, but
Okay,
then you
you
kill
say that, but then
Iberia
you
in the
killed
second
Iberia in
Punic
the
War.
Second Punic War.
Well, I didn't kill Iberia because I was at war with her. I told Iberia to fuck shit up for you, so that's a different thing.
And you wonder why
And
I
you wonder
killed
why I
you.
killed you.
Okay, admittedly,
Okay,
I could have
admittedly,
gone
I
about
could
it
have gone
I
about it.
don't wonder. I have the right to be salty about it.
You want. Okay.
You won. Okay.
Yes, you were going
Yes,
to
you
die
were going to die
during
during the
the Third
Third
Punic
Punic
War.
War.
That
That
was
was
never
never
in
in
doubt.
doubt.
Perhaps
But
I could have
perhaps
handled
I
it
could have
better
handled it better
than
than
I did.
than I did.
That's
That's
possibly,
possibly,
potentially,
potentially,
perhaps.
perhaps.
Okay, we have questions. At least one question. What are your opinions on the other ancients? Well, you want to go first? You have quite a list of.
Which other
Which other
ancients is my
ancients
question?
is my
There are.
question? There are.
Everyone, like the ones we knew when we were alive. Um, I had
I knew a lot.
I had a great relationship with Egypt. Like I was greatly influenced by Egyptian culture, and Numidia was a bitch. Numidia was a fucking turncloak and just like jumped back and forth between supporting me or supporting Rome. So Numidia could go fuck himself. And I had a good relationship with Gaul up until like the Punic Wars. So those are like the main people I interacted with. I also knew a lot of the others, not as well. Do you want to talk about your lovely relationship with Scandinavia?
No.
No. I also don't want to talk about my lovely relationship with Greece.
Uh,
Uh,
Germania and I
Germania
had
and
an
I had
interesting
an interesting
relationship.
relationship.
Um, it
It
was
was
fight,
fight, friend, and then death.
both of
Both
us,
of us,
and
and that was fun.
Uh,
Uh,
I had a
I
great
had a great
relationship with
relationship with
Iberia,
Iberia,
also known
also known
as
as
Hispania,
Hispania,
until
until
someone
someone
killed
killed
her.
her.
You know,
You
the
know, the
usual.
usual.
Egypt and I were
Decent
decent
friends
friends
until
until I
I
made
made
her
her
a
a
province.
province.
And
And
who else was
who
in
else
there?
was in my Gaul and I had
weren't good
weren't
friends
good friends
at all.
at all.
You just had a
With
child.
wars. It was a complicated relationship, as most of my relationships are. Um,
Well, especially because her husband didn't like you much.
yeah, there's that. That's also the China had I had a good relationship with China, and that's about it. Our relationship was fine until you started the Second Punic War. China and I did not have any conflict, which was like a first for any of my relationships. We had the Silk Roads, which was a great trading route between us. It was good.
More questions? Okay, well that. Yeah, did China actually like you?
I mean, I hope he wouldn't go to bed with people he didn't like. That would be weird.
That coming from you, that sounds really weird.
I mean, most of the times I went to bed with people, I did not hate them. Unless I was like really, really, really intoxicated. What were we like as children?
Well. Adorable? No, I don't think I was. I think I was very much the same as I am now, just less mature and just less experienced. I don't think I've changed greatly.
Less current.
When fuck you, fuck you. I think Rome definitely has changed a lot because you were actually a nice kid.
Which stage of my childhood are you talking about?
When we met each other.
Oh, okay. That wasn't. I wouldn't have classified.
Before you started growing into a asshole.
Okay, because that's a different state of childhood than the part I was planning on talking about. I was a messy child, and I went from optimistic to pessimistic very quickly for a certain part, and then I switched back to optimism because pessimism is just a really dark way to look at the world. Was I really all that great and powerful? I was powerful. I would not say I was great. The issue with being powerful, and I was one of the most powerful empires in Europe during the time which I reigned, is that the people who have the power, the emperors, decide like to abuse power and not take care of the rest of the empire, and it was just that's what made it not great. But I was a wimp, yeah. Like when I was really really young, Greece took me under her wing, which I slightly regret. But she took advantage of my resources, and I became trapped in a bad relationship there, and then I started butting heads with Carthage, and that's about where we are up to date. Carthage is a terrible parent.
Now, I don't have any children of my own or descendants. My successor is Tunisia, but I had nothing to do with Tunisia. They kind of popped into existence after I died. So I didn't have anything to do with them. However, after I killed
Hibernia. You killed Hibernia.
Yeah. No, I think I'd have died pretty quickly if I had killed Hibernia. But after I had killed Hispania, I took her two little boys, Spain and Portugal, and I raised them for some years. Oh, that was horrible. I hate children. I took them in and like made them work for me.
Basically made slaves out of them.
They were demon children. Like, oh my god. I don't like children, and after taking care of them for a while, I never wanted children of my own. Never. You know the Mongol Empire. Yes, what were they like?
Vaguely.
Yeah, kind of. I didn't have anything.
I didn't truly have any interaction with Mongolia, but the Mongol expansion is really what helped finish me off. Also, my totally Byzantine, who I obviously have no relation with, had to deal with the Mongols a lot and was not a fan of the Mongols. He spoke Greek, he's not related to me. Of course not. He spoke Greek. The Mongols also were the ones who pushed the Germanic tribes further into Europe, which pushed the tribes into Rome, which caused the city being sacked and taken over. Spain was... No, Spain was a cinnamon bun. That's how you use it, right? He was pure. Spain was one of the best children of mine which I've interacted with. Span.
No, Spain. No. Spain was a tiny monster.
He's adorable. He had those big green eyes that just the puppy dog eyes was adorable. But he tried to take care of the Italy's when they were small, when he was living with me for a bit. And he was just a very good older brother and very responsible for a child. And he mostly took responsibility for his actions. Most of the time. He was a good kid. I mean, he's a child, so of course they're not going to take responsibility all of the time. What did I do with Italy and Romano when they were kids? I only actually was around Italy and Romano when they were really small, because I soon destroyed myself. Shortly after they came into existence. So if I wasn't around, or if I was around, I'd usually have them with me when going to the Senate and other actions which I had to do. But if I wasn't around, they'd be with the slaves I kept in the house, basically. I did not drop them on their heads. They were precious to me.
Talking about dropping children on their heads, you know, in Carthage,
Oh god.
in Carthage, I was one of the first people to ever make buildings that were multiple stories tall. Our buildings were up to 6 stories tall, and Spain might have at one point fallen out the window. Not from like the highest up, but like might have fallen out. He was okay.
This
He
is
only
why
like
Carthage
broken arm, but
is a bad parent.
it was not
Bad
like your child was playing on the
parent.
windowsill.
Tell them
not to play on the windowsill.
Yeah,
Use your words.
listen to anything I said ever. I had nannies take care of them because I couldn't, because they were your children are small demons. They do nothing but scream and demand things.
That's what children do.
I don't like children. I don't want to, but I'm never taking care of a child again in my life. In the afterlife. I mean, afterlife.
They're pretty dead. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not proud of the Armada. The children need to learn to stop fighting. It's bad.
In the Third Punic War, when Rome decided to march against you, I'm gonna give the entire story instead of like the short version. Okay, so the city of Carthage was like protected by this giant wall, and it actually took the Romans about 2 years to penetrate this wall. Once they did that, the Carthaginians had been like preparing for war and like producing massive amounts of weapons during these 2 years. Like everyone in this city was armed and everyone was fighting the Romans when they came in. Like my people were fighting to like the last fucking breath. Right, the Romans had to go through my city like fighting street by street to take over the city, and it took hours for them to like actually reach the city. And once they'd done that and like grabbed a bunch of slaves and whatnot, they set fire to everything. And they kept setting fire to everything and kept letting me burn for 17 days. 17 days my city was burning.
For Norway down there. Carthage is a boy. Their Carthage's death was the cruelest I've been death-wise for nations, but there was reasons for that. Okay, I don't have a...
I haven't even told everything. I haven't told about the fucking humiliation he put me through before he set fire to me.
It was great.
It was great. It was fun.
Pardon me. I know you can just pride yourself with having killed me, but are you really proud of what you did to me before?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't know if I believe you with that giant smile on your face.
The smile is to
try and hide my pain.
You're even more of a dick than I thought you were. Fantastic. Anyway,
You don't want to know, it's not appropriate even for 18 plus. Um,
You see,
you see, reigning ever free, that I prefer that than putting him in pants. Pants are evil. They're barbaric. They're just. No. I don't.
Would you rather have
They're barbarians.
What was that?
What was that?
rather have people just walk around in blue paint?
No. I'd rather him walk around in a dress than in pants.
No,
We're not getting into this. We are not getting. No. Scotland and I do not get along. No, don't do this. I am not touching anything of Caledonia's.
I might not like children, but I think Celts did a great job with his kids.
So fun
story. When I was invading England or Britannia, as it was called at that current time, there's this place to the north of Britannia called Caledonia, or the Celts.
Fun fact,
I tried to build a wall. Fun fact, it didn't work. Then I tried to make it bigger, and that still didn't work. They'd still keep coming down and breaking the wall and pillaging all my units and outposts. And there was a child running around naked in blue paint. I was like, what is this child doing? And then Caledonia was like, yo, that's my kid, Scotland. And I'm like...
Celd was like, that's my kid.
Yeah.
Caledonia. Yeah, I keep getting those confused. But that's... We do not get along. We will not get along because I did things to the Celts which Scotland is like knows about, and no, we do not get along.
Remember the time when Scotland dated your granddaughter?
Why would you remind me of this? It's fair, but that was a bad time.
Scotland dated North Italy for a little while.
Yeah, like last year.
No, like,
think.
yeah,
2 years?
almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. It was. I was crying every day that was a thing.
I'm sorry, I'm very amused right now.
It was painful.
You deserved it.
I mean, yes, but still.
All of the hardships you were thrown into.
Including Greece? Because I hadn't even done anything at that point.
We can agree that Greece should never have been.
Yeah, we can go with that.
I don't like her any more than you do.
So
who is your favorite child? Not necessarily your own, but a child you like. I'm not getting into this. I had like 12.
Sorry. I was just... My friend drew Carthage. I'm happy. Great. Anyways, who's your favorite child? I like Scotland. Scotland's a great kid.
I
don't have a favorite child. Hibernia. Oh yeah, Celt.
Yeah, it's the whole revamping thing.
Oh yeah,
I keep getting confused.
Yeah.
Celt, even though I may have hated his guts.
And they told him go as like them as a couple. For Scandinavia, I have great respect for Scandinavia for like feeling with what she was what she thought.
Yeah. Yeah, Celts in Scandinavia were the best parents of the ancients. Even though I like neither of them personally, they were good parents. I can accept that.
My mother.
Oh, you asked me a good question.
Oh, you mean Hungary's dad? Because she didn't have a mom, right?
Because
no mom at all.
Because Hungary's mother doesn't accept her existence.
No, Hungary's mother just disowns her.
Hungary's dad is a Magyar, or their tribes people who work with horses a lot. Surprising. He's a good guy, a bit bland, but he's good. Like deep down inside, he's pure. Her mother,
He needs to shave his mustache.
he does need to shave his mustache. It's terrible. Her mother is Finnic, who is known for being cold. And problematic. They've had is Finland Magyars as well? No, okay. Yeah, they just had Hungary together.
Yeah. Yeah, Hungary is Magyar's only.
Yeah, Finnic is also Finland's mother. And possibly Estonia's? Can't remember.
I think she just adopted Estonia.
Makes sense.
Oh, it's not working. Fuck that.
I'm great with children when I was there for them. When I was there for them, I was a great father/grandparent. But I was only there for like 4 out of 12. So like, gotta respect. Germania was a decent parent. He cared. He was just bad at showing.
He has a list, like, in his pocket of his children because he can't remember how many children he had.
He wasn't emotionally there, but to be fair, he wasn't emotionally there like any of the time. He was just a very stoic person.
He had a very busy life as the Lorax. He had to be the guardian of the trees.
Speak for the trees.
So, like, speaking for the trees is a hard occupation to have.
I mean, you're not wrong, Norway, but it wasn't only my mate he was on. You raise a good question. You see, at that point in my life, when Feliciano and Romano showed up, or Feliciano and Lavino, I was old for my people. Like, we didn't really live that long. What a shot. Hygiene. So at the age I was, it was weird to have children as young as Italy and Ramona. So I was like, I'm their grandparent, it's fine. Don't worry about it, it's fine. But yeah. I am technically their father.
It's like the whole thing with nations not being blood related. We are related through how we feel we're related. We don't give birth to, well, especially not us because we're male, but nations don't give birth to all that.
Austria was fun.
Austria just popped into existence.
Very bad timing, though.
I also don't have a father. My mother just kind of, whoop, that's 3 children. Oh, well, whatever. I was born from political difficulties. That's my dad. Political difficulties.
One becomes an empire by having an emperor. That's it. That's the only criteria you need to become an empire. You need an emperor. 0 out of 10 recommend. Like, my children have done like multiple empires and all of them have gone badly. Don't do it. I'm just surprised China is still alive.
Oh, yeah.
They see empires as a symbol of power, which it is, but let me quote that Spider-Man thing. With great power comes great responsibility. And a lot of people don't understand that. Oh my god, Carthage. Reshef? What is it?
This is just my box full of jewelry with lightning. And, these are a mess.
Okay,
I don't actually know what China was like when he was little, because when Carthage came into existence, he was already like 30. Like, China is old.
Wait, what?
What was China like when he was little?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, no. China is a lot older than both of us.
By like a significant age gap. If you could live in any historical age, which would you choose?
I was pretty happy with my own age. Like, if I could go back and do that over, I would definitely put more effort into getting those ads and the world would be very, very different today.
Probably it would be different. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'd probably actually go back to the caveman times, because that life seems a lot simpler back then.
Romulus. And we talk about the time one of your emperors set you on fire.
I don't like being reminded of Nero.
I love that story.
So, fun fact. My craziest empire, my craziest emperor was Nero. Now, Nero was insane to begin with, but the most detrimental insanity that he had, few people know of Nero. He liked to perform in the theater. And he liked to perform music, and he was terrible, but you couldn't say that to him because he was the emperor. Like, he was the most powerful man in Rome. Like, you couldn't tell him that he was absolutely terrible, so he forced people to come to his shows. Now, his shows could last 3 days long, and women would pretend to be pregnant and give birth, and men would pretend to die to try and get out of watching these terrible shows. So one day, I'm forced to attend these shows if I'm in Rome, because you know it's important to have your personification show up. So one day I'm at his performance, watching, trying to die slowly but surely. And then I suddenly feel some pain in my heart, because Your capital city is your heart. It's logical. And then I'm like, okay, this is fine, this is fine. And then we start smelling smoke. And so the emperor is still going because the saying is that Nero like played while Rome burned around him, and that is true. So somehow Nero had set fire to Rome and then continued to blatantly ignore it while he continued with the show. It was.
I love that story.
The show must go. I wish it hadn't gone on. It would have saved so much.
I'm just enjoying your suffering.
Which of my leaders have I actually liked? What do you mean liked? Like personally liked? Or watched amusedly as they messed up completely and then got killed?
Well,
personally liked. Okay, who was a good leader? I liked Augustus the First. He did very good things for Rome. He was our first emperor because Caesar didn't count. He did a lot of good things for Rome the city, and then he was just a really good guy. Even though he became our first emperor, and we were like, yeah, but he was good. He was actually okay. It was a good time.
This panel is really flying by very fast.
It is.
It is.
Surprisingly.
Are there any more?
What we always do in these panels.
Well, yeah. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that game show is going to turn out.
My word of wisdom: don't create an empire.
Don't
do it.
Don't trust Romans.
That too.
I like when you agree with me. That's a nice feeling.
That was my word of
wisdom. That was my word of wisdom. Don't start an empire. Oh no.
You got the chance to get back at Rome, would you, and what would you do? Well, as I said, I wouldn't mind, going back and changing what did happen, but as for revenge, no, not now. Because when I was alive, I was kind of big on revenge. That was kind of what most of the Second Punic War was. That was me being angry because I lost the first Punic War. I was like, fuck you. But now, when I'm dead and don't have anything to gain, no, I just continue to make him tell the story about when he burnt himself, and I get great pleasure from that. So I'm good.
Well, I can picture Nero singing that Adele song.
Oh god.
I didn't eat this.
Ooh.
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 Oh no.
Oh no, I don't want to enter this. And I'm not about this life. Boy, I wish that were true.
Was at one point he was also killed by Rome. He was a human. No, I very much want to hear about who you were really in love with out of the tons of I wouldn't even call them lovers, would you?
Tons of relationships.
I call them
I call them relationships. I.
Piles of
That's not the mental image I wanted. I have been in love.
I'm
I'm assuming you mean romantic love.
yeah.
With
With two things.
Two things?
I'm not
I'm not specifying if they were ancients or humans.
Okay, because when
I know
that came out weird.
No, because I was just thinking, well, that's easy. Your right hand and your reflection, right?
If only.
No, I very much want to hear this.
Oh, it's fine. They won't.
On Rome.
I
don't know why I'm concerned. They won't even believe me anyway. But one of them was Germania, and the other one was Carthage.
Pardon me?
You heard what I said.
Yes, but I also think you're absolutely full of bullshit.
As I previously stated.
What do
you mean, where did that come from? That's been there since before at least the Second Punic War.
Nothing says I love you like setting someone on fire. Yeah, I see that.
Or maybe the reason why you were set on fire is because you broke my heart. Don't know why I get into this with you. You'll never understand.
I don't know if you're trying to kind of like make me pity you or something, or feel bad that I started wars with you, or whatever your little mind game is, but I really don't think it's fun.
Why do you always assume everything is a game? I don't play mind games. I don't have the capacity, the mental capacity to play a mind game.
Well, that's true.
Exactly, so why did you think I would?
Oh. You can't be serious. You know,
No,
I'm wrong. Sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I couldn't help it. I am completely serious. I wouldn't joke about something like this. The affairs of the heart are not to be joked about.
I have nothing to say to that. This is odd. This is awkward. Are there more questions? Because I don't want to talk about this anymore. That's what I'm feeling. But I'm very serious. I always ship Niall and Rob. Wow. Also ship Rob and his pet. So, more questions? What's your favorite weapon? I basically, or elephants. Elephants are great weapons. No, basically.
What gave you the idea to use war elephant? Why would you use an elephant for war? What?
No, using elephants for war was something we'd done in Africa for centuries. Just because you didn't know that elephants existed, that was the thing we did in Africa at the time.
I don't even doubt that. It's just, why would you use them across the Alps?
Because that's the only way we could get them. Like, you were prepared for us coming other ways, but yeah, elephants are a great weapon of war. But basically, for most of the battles, I just kind of, I won because I outsmarted him.
Except for the second.
Brave. No, a lot of the battles during the second,
I'm talking
about the end of the second. During the beginning of the second, yeah, you had outsmarted me majorly.
When he did end up winning over me, it was actually because he had learned from his losing battles, and he had started seeing what kind of strategies I did use, and he tried to use them against me, and he succeeded at some point. I don't know if he succeeded multiple times, but at least one time I remember, because that was obviously what fucked it all up. But you mean hunters? No, I think we are very much Hercules and Megara, actually. That's the relationship we have right here.
Except Hercules had a better start than I did. My favorite weapon.
I don't know if beginning your life with a murder attempt is a great start, but I see what you mean.
I mean, technically my beginning was also a murder attempt, so we're fine.
I don't know anything about your early life except the fact that you were raised by wolves.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. That's fine. My favorite weapon is, unsurprisingly, a sword and shield. But the ballista is one of my second favorites, because you can shoot things at high velocities, impale armor. It's great. Great. I like it. You see, the thing with Hercules, though, is that once he got to hero status, he never kind of failed at hero status. He just kind of stuck there. It's his case constant.
So, there isn't actually a long time left of this panel, so I'm just gonna ask, do you guys want déjà vus, or do you just want us to keep going with this? Because this is also fun. So, it depends on what you guys want. We were thinking about doing our human ancient AU, but whatever. I also, I would have liked to do a 2P Hetalia déjà vu, but I don't want to ask you to take off the beard and put on Morgana again.
I don't want to.
I think that's not gonna happen. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
It's a lot of effort. I don't want to stab myself as well.
You do what you want as long as you do it here, it will be great. Fine, we're just gonna continue with this then.
Yeah, Rome got his right hand, and everyone he loved is dead. Where the countries come from? Well, you see, when a mommy country and a daddy country really love each other, they start to have relations of either, religious, what are the other, or political or culture. And once those are formed, it becomes a mix of both the mother country and the father country, and that creates kind of a whole new system. And that system is usually what becomes a new country. You're welcome.
Or it don't even have to be that kind of thing. It can also be like with like internal things in one country, like a change in political spheres. I cannot. How do you English? I speak Venetian. A change in culture within the country, a change in politics or whatever. For example, I was created because shit was going down in my mother's country, and the princess, one of the princesses, fled the country and created a new city state, which was then me. So, like, that was not because I'm mommy, daddy, and the father, daddy, mommy, daddy, and mommy, daddy. I am Englishing really great right now. It's not even midnight. It's only just about.
Most children countries are actually mistakes or weren't intended. It's very rare for a country to be intended.
I don't think you can actually intend to, unless it's a colony grade. Colonies are obviously like made with intent, but any other countries, not so much.
So technically everyone's a mistake, if that makes you feel better.
Or less. I mean, you have made a lot of accidents.
I made a lot.
I made a lot of.
France and Austria and Wales are all just kind of popped into existence.
Yeah, those were. What can I say? Okay. So Wales is more of the first situation where the when I invaded Britannia in what was that, 55? Or yeah, when
I called it Britannia.
I called it Britannia. Like that was the area I invaded, which is known currently as England and Wales. When I invaded that area, some I may or may not have massacred
A lot of people.
Um, and put my own people in their place. And one of those such places became Wales. Or became what is now known as Wales. Because Wales technically didn't come into existence until 1056. France is a liar. That's how humans are born. Nations are different.
Well, nations also aren't born, they just kind